further above your courtyard and above your lounge room, and there's definitely issues there that we need to manage. The ones on Anthony Rolfe that are just being built now, they are 3 stories and it's not such an issue. But further down Anthony Rolfe towards heading Horse Park Drive direction, there are quite a lot of single-story ones there.
Yes, and the top end of Flemington Road.
Yep, that's
single
right.
and 2-story houses. I hate to think of what some of the people in single-story houses think about the 3-story townhouses being built next door right now. I guess they didn't really look real close at what might end up next door, but it's such a vast difference that it must be pretty scary for people.
Helen, just adding to that point that has been made about grade parking on Hickson Street. If we were, as a community council, going to put a position up, in our paperwork, it'd be good to have, again, there being so many mums here, perhaps that one of the uses that could be for that on-level parking is mums and babies parking, because again, getting 20-kilogram toddlers in and out of the car is something that most people who don't have kids, they don't necessarily think about how difficult that can be after a long day at work.
So I was thinking when you were saying before about parking, if you've got 4 kids and you're in that car parks underneath the building, it's actually
Well,
safer.
I might go underground, but
It's much safer
if
to
you're
park
dropping
on the
in
side of the
to
street
grab something
and
and
get
shop
them
and leave,
onto
it's
the
easy to get them.
Yeah.
I've got two
So doing away with that parking down there
It's a bit
is
more
actually doing
15-minute
an
drop-off.
adjustment because it's
Yeah,
I just thought it was a huge difference. And I went park. Ours is quiet, the other 2 car parks I won't park under because if you're trying to get 2 toddlers at feet getting around, especially out there, it's still doing the side of your jeans
And you're negotiating all the concrete islands as well.
Well, running in and out
these
of
guys are not so
stuff is another
problem,
one.
but it's actually safe to get kids in and out of the car there. It takes you long to get through the road,
Appreciate it. Any other thoughts on that while we've got the captive ears?
The crossings, have we talked about the crossings, the striped crossings across the road near the park?
Yeah, we went into that last meeting with regard to it basically being a shared zone.
And the closeness of it to the fact that it's so close to the intersections that when cars turn around the corner, there's not enough room for them to stop while they wait for people to go past. I nearly went, like I was very close to someone's tail the other day just driving past there.
I think if things went the way that we're talking about with Childers Street, there would be no zebra crossings. It would be a shared zone right away.
Pave it all the way across or something.
Yeah. So the curbs would go. It would be fairly seamless kind of. If anyone here hasn't been down Childers Street in University Precinct, it's worth just having a little crawl along there and pulling up and having a walk and just seeing how you feel. What it does is require drivers to make eye contact with pedestrians. Yes, it's got little choke points and the like, and it's all sort of paved, as Julia said. There's no clear line between car territory and pedestrian territory. It's a true shared area.
So I found in Europe as well that where they've changed even quite dangerous intersections to shared zones, the drivers pay more attention, the pedestrians pay more attention, and there is actually a reduction in accidents. It seems a little unnatural, but it works very well now.
You put things into more conflict to create less conflict.
Yeah, well, because people don't...
Yeah, it is, yeah. Sorry?
down in the lake where the portrait gallery is like that too, but they're a lot longer than
yes,
yes,
that's right. Yes. Yeah, even the little stub getting into Garema Court next to City Walk there from the bus interchange for people who have to park underneath Garema Court if they work in Diva. You have that same mix where you've basically got to catch the attention of the person walking in front of you and whatever before it's safe to proceed. Bendigo Council, I think we're going to remake their entire main street along that sort of method. There's an article on our website about it because it was interesting that they were going. Because towns across Australia have been going away from pedestrian walls because of the also come from that. That this is the latest best thinking of the way to deal with that. We need to move on. First half is almost over. Enough on that.
12-0 with Queensland, apparently 22 minutes into the game.
You're not really looking at it, are you?
I'm looking and I'm getting messages.
It's not playing Sudoku while you're
Can
doing
you
that.
please
That's all
We're-
on board.
no more updates?
Yep.
I mean, that's nice news, but no more updates. Because we've got late nights going back to watch the recording tonight, so it's spoiling. Boy. Can't believe you just did that.
Sorry, I thought you actually had the score up there and that's why you were saying it.
Connected? I'm not connected. I'm looking at the clock. It's 8:30. So
Oh, well, it's only 22 minutes into the game, Alan, so
Alright.
you're doing all right.
Can you give away the outcome of movies as well before a person is
Absolutely.
Why not?
Doesn't everybody?
Newspapers do.
3 years I waited to watch Jurassic Park, and my little cousin went and saw it first and stormed in the door and said, T-Rex saves them! Thanks a lot. Totally ruined it before I got to see it. Anyway. That's going to cost you. Okay, so where's my agenda? We talked a little bit about light rail, so I won't go into that anymore. So, and Andrew, you touched on the design that has to go into the other features for the college precinct before such time as you can budget for them. What's the chances of some of those budget provisions being provisionally made prior to an election?
No, I'm not in a position now.
No, it's me?
No, I understand the point that you're making, and I'm
Okay.
sure that there will be announcements prior to the election as to the nature of them.
As to the nature of
I can't
them.
commit anything at this point.
Good, that's cool. Point made. Now, concept plans. Andrew, we've talked on and off a few times about concept plans for future developments. And I was actually doing a submission for the DCP on crates just yesterday. Crace is the development south of Palmerston, between there and Barton Highway. And this is the concept plan from December '06. And I'll just pass this around because the National Capital Authority has control over the Barton Highway. So they've required a DCP on the 200 metre buffer along this section here. I'm looking at it thinking, yeah, well, there's writ large what our concern is with the lack of appropriate orientation of blocks in some of these older concept plans that are now being rolled out at great pace by LDA and Globo developers and the like. So I might just pass that around and have a little look-see in how many blocks you think you might be able to, on a larger block, build an east-west oriented house and have it nicely baking in the winter sun and nicely shaded from the summer sun. Not all that many. And on the smaller blocks for passive design, you really need blocks that are running pretty much north-south. Andrew and I have talked about it considerably. And one of the ideas we'd like to put forward to you is that the subdivision constraints in the territory plan actually require a certain proportion of blocks have to meet certain star ratings. So there are star ratings like you have on a house, on blocks themselves as well, and that star rating then indicates how appropriate the orientation is with regard to designing a passive solar home. And a passive solar home means you can reduce by thousands of dollars your heating expenses. The suggestion we've got is that, like the EER declarations at point of sale for houses, that we actually bring in legislation that makes a declaration of the EER, or the star rating of the blocks a requirement. So wherever they advertise individual blocks for sale, they have to declare a star rating. So then what we do is actually turn it up